One Friday Fights 106 is back this Friday at 2:30 South African time on the One Championship YouTube page. I'll be doing a quick preview of this fight card next in Fighting with Friends. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Fighting with Friends. It's your boy, Brother Gaia, back again with another preview. This time it is one Friday Fights 106. They took a break last week. Now they're back this week with two fight cards. If you haven't checked it out, we did do a breakdown of this week's card as well, which is one Fight Night 31. It's up on our YouTube page right now. You can go check it out. Now I'm going to be doing a breakdown of one Friday Fights 106. Starting on the top of the card, as always, we've got Panrit taking on Suksawut or Suksawat in a catchweight Muay Thai bout at 140 pounds. These guys are just outside of that featherweight mark. So they're in a gray area where they can compete between featherweight and bantamweight. But let me give you some details on Panrit. He's 28 years old. His record in one championship is 5 wins, 5 losses, 0 no contests. He's got 1 win by KO, 1 win by TKO. And he's on a 2-fight losing streak currently. His last fight, he lost to Suksawut by KO, which was earlier this year. It was in February. And it was a bit of an unfortunate loss to start off the year for Panrit, considering that prior to that fight and the fight against Suakim, he was on a 4-fight winning streak and he was basically wiping out top contenders, names like Superbon, Warapon, Alexei Balakau, Kong Klai. You know what I mean? He took out some big names, and then he came up against Suakim, which was the end of last year, December 2024, and he lost that fight by knockout. But Suakim did look phenomenal in that fight. Suakim has actually been phenomenal since his injection into the One Championship. And then he fought Suksawut in February, and he lost that fight. Unfortunately, that was a rematch. He's back. He's got 2 losses against Suksawut. He's taken on the debutant in Suksawut, 24 years old. If I'm not mistaken, Suksawut's fighting out of, let me just check here, it's PK Senchai. So that's a very, very good gym, by the way. Right at the PK Senchai gym. He's been fighting in the Thai Fight League. So if you can check him out, check out some of his performances on YouTube at the Thai Fight League events. 24 years old, this is his debut. I haven't really broken his fight style down completely, but what I could gather, he's a top athlete, good elbows, good exchanges with the boxing combinations, got very good kicks to the body. So he might just bring some heat for Panrit. Panrit obviously fighting at the Superbon's gym. He's got great boxing, fantastic kicks, but he overly relies on his boxing, which I think is phenomenal. It's a good tactic to use in one championship. But sometimes you gotta have to have a plan B and a plan C if you're boxing or your first initial plan isn't working. And I think Suakim exposed that of Panrit when they fought before, was that once you got Panrit fighting backwards and he can't really utilize his boxing, he's a little bit of a goes into the shell and he kind of like just covers up and he doesn't really fight back. And I don't like that side of him because I think he's a fantastic fighter. I just want to see him be a little bit more ruthless, a little bit like Superbon, be a bit more ruthless in there. Don't give your opponent a chance to recognize if you are a little bit uncomfortable in the ring. So I think it's going to be a good fight, good main event. Not that much implications to the two athletes in terms of climbing up the rankings. I think both guys are still fighting for, I'll say Panrit more than Suakim and Suksawut. But Panrit is fighting for that $100,000 contract to get into the One Championship, which I think they should actually make that official sort of bid for him. Especially in this fight, considering that he's been fighting in the One Championship now for quite some time, and he's got a good number of fights. It's 10 fights. Usually with an athlete that's got 10 fights and the names that you've been taking on, you kind of get prioritized by One Championship and you get to fight on the higher cards. I'm surprised that Panrit hasn't gotten there yet. Okay, granted that the loss against Suakim, which was the fight for that contract, and the loss against Suksawut does sort of backtrack him a little bit. But I mean, a win over Suksawut would be put him back on track to get that contract. As for Suksawut, this is his debut. He's obviously going to come in with a lot of fire because he wants to put on a show and showcase why he should be in the One Championship. So, but it's got to be, have to be careful there. I'm not going to pick a winner. I'm going to say that it's going to be an exciting matchup because I do think that both guys can't afford to lose. And for that, it's going to make for a fantastic fight. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, give me your thoughts. Let us know in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe if you love the content. But more importantly, let me know who you think is going to get the job done in that main event in our comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Possibly, please. Thank you. For now, I'm going to keep moving to the co-main event between... We'll just bring it up on screen for you there. Right, here we go. We've got another catchweight bout between Pet Panrit taking on Pan Lulok. And this is a catchweight. The weight they're fighting at is 113 pounds, which is exciting for me. This is very exciting for me because it's a weight class that needs to be recognized and it also needs to be filled. There's no champion in this division. There's no one. There's no. In fact, the roster's still pretty much empty, considering that a lot of the guys that are fighting in this division are not contacted by the One Championship. They don't have anyone contacted to make up this division. What we're going to see going forward now is quite a number of fights in 113, 112 pounds, which is your atom weight for men, which is amazing. And if you remember the fight card, One Championships, 172, the Japan card, we had what's his name, Nadaka Yoshinari. So he fights in this division, right? And he fought against Rak in that fight. And I believe that One Championship should just sign Yoshinari. I know he wants to move into boxing, but he's only 24 years old, so I think he should actually stay in Muay Thai. And then One Championship should give him the title immediately. Just let him have it because he's just the most decorated athlete at the moment in that sort of weight class, and make him the champion. And then you build the division around him, and you got fighters like Pen Banrai and Ban Lulok. Like they could basically go and fill up the rest of the division for him. We've got other fighters on this fight card that's fighting in this division as well. So there's a lot of athletes that are fantastic that can make up this class. What's the dude that fought 2 weeks ago? Top of my head now, I forget his name. Hearn. His name is Hearn. This is his division. Like, let these guys go in there and put on performances, and we can get to see an atomweight champion. So in this fight, one thing I recognize in this particular matchup is Pet Panrai is fighting out of the same fighting gym as Shadow. Is it Shadow, yes, and Kong Klai. They're all fighting out of Singwa Mayin. So I think there's some good fighters to it that's being produced out of this gym, right? So I'm quite excited to see Pan Banrai fight. Ban Lulok, excuse me. Let me give you some statistics on this guy. So Pet Panrai is 24 years old. He's recorded One Championship. He's 2 wins, 1 loss, 0 no contest. He's got 2 fight win streak. He beat Petrit by unanimous decision in his last fight. Ben Lulok, 28 years old, recorded One Championship. He's 2 wins, 0 losses, 0 no contest. He's got 2 wins by KO. He beat Tim Tong by KO in his last fight. So this is going to be a barn burner, as you can see. But based on those statistics, both guys have only really fought 2 to 3 times in the One Championship, and both of them have got some knockouts under their names. So I'm excited. The thing about Pet Panrai, I'm not too chuffed about, is that he overly relies, just like Panrit in the boxing. But what he does is he almost stands up square shoulder to shoulder, and he just throws punches from here. Block, throws the punch, throw the punch, block, hits the body, throws the punch. He doesn't utilize his kicks to set up those punches. He doesn't tip or throw the calf kick enough to set up those boxing combinations. Granted, he got the job done in his last fight, but I don't know if that's going to be the style that he can take forward through his career to actually, become a champion. Maybe because there'll be fighters in there that will keep him, or high kick him, or low kick him, and they will have a difficult time to get this boxing off because they're going to destroy his legs or his body before he even gets a chance to do so. So I want to see him rev up or add more weapons to his arsenal as he progresses. And I think this fight we might just see that. As for Van Lulok, we might just see another KO. The guy's a KO specialist. We might just see another KO. This guy loves to throw some heat, so I think it's going to be a fantastic fight from start to finish. Probably want to be one of the fights of the night. And if I'm to pick a winner, I'm probably going to lean towards Van Lulok, just because I think he's got the knockout power advantage. He's a more aggressive fighter, and I think he's got good counters to counter strike a lot of the boxing combinations that Pet Panrai is going to throw forward to him. So let's see what happens there. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments, please. I'd love to hear what's your take. And then also, we're not going to be doing a live for this one. We are going to be doing a live for Fight Night 31. But we will also be doing a recap of this event immediately after we do our recap of Fight Night 31. Okay, so I'm going to keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen, to another fight in this fight card, which is an amazing matchup by One Championship. I think they did a good job of putting this fight together. Chalamdam, 24 years old. His record in One Championship is 2 wins, 1 loss, 0 no contest. He's got 2 wins by TKO. He's lost to Chok Cha by KO in his last fight. But unfortunate, but prior to that, he's really been doing well. But good low kicks, and he beat a very good name in Patak Nin with that low kick, by the way. Beautiful, beautiful low kick. Suasat's a little bit older. He's 31 years old. Record in one championship is 0 wins, 2 losses, 0 no contest, 2-fight losing streak. He lost to Abdallah Undash by unanimous decision in his last fight. But Abdallah Undash is really good, by the way. Like I won't be surprised if I see Abdallah Undash close to a title fight very, very soon. Right, these two guys are gonna fight in a strawweight Muay Thai, so that's really amazing. Where the champion is Protégé at this moment in time. Very exciting weight division in the one championship right now. Who's gonna win here? I'm gonna go Chalamdam. He's younger, he's more vibrant, he's faster, he kicks hard, he's built like a truck. Suasat is not old. He's not old in any way, shape, or form. 31 years old is actually your prime when it comes to combat sports. But 2 fights in the one championship, when he lost both of them so far, I don't know if I'm gonna be completely confident in that athlete to go forward. Especially because Chalamdam beat Patak Nin, and Patak Nin is not an easy fighter to fight against. Chalamdam went in there and schooled him. Okay, he lost against Chocolate Cha, but I mean, Chocolate Cha is a hammer. And he hits anybody, you're gonna fall, especially in the strawweight division. So I think Chalamdam has got the skill set to go in there and beat pretty much anyone in the strawweight division, especially with the way he fights. He's very strategic and methodical. He attacks the base first before he goes to the head. And that for me is a deadly combination to fight against. And a fighter that does that is hard to beat. So Chalamdam for me is going to get the job done here. Probably TKO in Suasat. Maybe second round, maybe first round. But I do expect him to go in there and actually get the job done. Either way, he's going to win that fight. But if I'm wrong, you got a different opinion, you know where the comment section is. Let me know. But for now, I'm going to keep moving. So before I move on to the fight I'm going to preview, I'm just going to scroll down the list on screen for you guys to see. We got Pet Putpa taking on Chatawi, another debutant. This is a catchweight Muay Thai bout. Don't know too much about the two guys, but keen to see. I know that Pet Putpa is only 19 years old, and I think what's his name, Chatawi is probably also 19 years old, if I'm not mistaken. 20. So we got a card filled with a bunch of teens, 20-year-old guys, which is quite exciting, right? We got next fight. We've got Yotsik San taking on Sin Lone Chow from Myanmar, Burma. Shout out to the Myanmar people. This is flyweight Muay Thai, so there's no catchweight, so that's fantastic to see. But both guys again are very, very young. So we got a debutant taking on another guy who literally only has fought one fight in the one championship. So not much to go off there. But I'm sure it's going to be exciting when you got these young cats just throwing at each other. Konpun taking on Abdi Saimi. And this is also a strawweight Muay Thai. This is, again, in the division, another debutant taking on another teenager. What can you say? Just a bunch of teens on this fight card. But I'm sure they're going to put on a show for the fans, for the Muay Thai fans out there. But the fight I'm going to be previewing, slow down a little bit here, is the featured bout on the undercard. And we got the young lad of Rustam Yunusov, 18 years old. Record in one championship is 3 wins, 0 losses, 0 no contest. He's got 1 win by KO. He beat Tawfiq Chabibi by KO in his last fight. Beautiful performance, by the way. Very, very creative striking from the young guy. He's taking on one of UK's good prospects in Alfie Ponting, 19 years old. Record in one championship, 0 wins, 1 loss, 0 no contest. And he obviously lost to Son Rak in his debut by unanimous decision. But Son Rak is a beast. He's a beast. So nothing to for Alfie to feel bad about that loss in his debut, because you did take on a top fighter, by the way. But now you're taking on someone that's in the same age group as you, someone who's also coming up just like you. So I definitely expect this fight to be a fun fight, back and forth. However, I do think that Rustam is taller. I think he's got more power, even though he's the younger athlete. He's got more power, and he's more creative. And he has that kill or be killed kind of mentality. So it's like, if I don't beat you, I know you're gonna beat me kind of fighter, and I love that about him. So I expect Rustam to go in there and put on another performance like he did in his last fight against Tawfiq, and just an onslaught of different kind of strikes from different angles, and he's gonna make Alfie take a lot of pictures in there. And when you take pictures in the fight, you're losing every avenue of the fight here. And I think Alfie needs to go in there and prove everybody wrong, right? Because he's the overwhelming underdog in this fight. So he's gonna have to go in there and prove everybody wrong. Keep his guard up. Don't get sucked into the feints and fight back. I think fight back. Rustam hasn't faced faced an opponent that forces him to fight back. Push him backwards, make him fight off a counter strike, make him have to rethink about how he's going to fight, how he's going to throw his punches and strikes, and just make it a bit of a spectacle, make it ugly. Fight him in the clinch. He doesn't like the clinch, or he hasn't really been fought in the clinch before. All his fights are outside of the clinch, throwing wild, spinning back elbows and things like that. So I would say Alfie needs to go in there and just make this almost like a street fight if he does, but keep his guard up at all times, check kicks at all times. Don't just take the shots. Make your opponent think twice when he wants to throw a kick again. Make him think twice when he wants to throw another punch. Alfie mustn't go in there and just become a walking target for Rustam. But all that being said, I do think that Rustam is still going to win the fight. I think he's going to win it in emphatic fashion as well. And he's going to go in there and showcase to the One Championship why he should get a contract and taking on fighters like the other Ondash brother, Ramadan Ondash. Take on like fighters like Haggerty's younger brother, Freddie. The other Striponan brother. There's Jojo Ghazali. There's quite a number of young athletes that are basically contracted now and getting high profile fights. But I think Rustam can go in there and actually smoke some of them. So I think if Rustam wins this fight, which I think he's going to, I would love to see him go up against Ramadan on Dash. I think that will be a fantastic fight to watch. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, give me your thoughts in the comments about this one. But this is going to be a fabulous fight. Probably going to be fight of the night. Probably. But for now, I'll keep it moving. So as we go down the card, just want to quickly remove some of these tabs that I don't need open anymore. Bye-bye, Alfie. All right, here we go. So as we move down the card, we have another two debutants. Kasan taking on Payakrut. This is a strawweight Muay Thai bout, which is fantastic. So that's going to be another fight where both guys can stake a claim in the division. If you put in a good performance, I have no doubt that Chatri Sitotong is going to give you some kind of bonus and probably prioritize you for another card up next, and then maybe give you a ranked or a contracted fighter if you put on good performance. That's the whole point of these Friday fight cards. And then this is the fight I'm going to preview next because these are recognized opponents. We have Silviu Vites taking on Tomiki Sato in a flyweight Muay Thai bout where he's no champion currently. It's a vacant title, but we know that Kong Thorani, who's fighting this weekend against Nongo, is going to be basically fighting for a number one contenders matchup for that vacant title. Silviu Vites, 31 years old, record in one championship is 1 win, 5 losses, 0 no contest. He's on a 3-fight losing streak at the moment. Oh, let me just double check it. I think it's more than 3 fights. Yeah, it is 3 fights. 3-fight losing streak. He lost to Panpayak, legendary Panpayak, by unanimous decision. Tomiki Sato, 33 years old, record in one championship is 2 wins, 1 loss, 0 no contest, 1 win by KO. He beat Omar Drissi by KO in his last fight. So, what are we going to see here? Right, we might see Silviu Vites go in there and just be a little bit aggressive like he always does. Makes it a bit of a dog fight like he always does. But what happens when he does that? He puts himself in positions to get beaten. Right? I've seen Silviu a few times look phenomenal in the first round. It looks to push the pace again second, third round, but then he gets caught and the fighters usually beat him up round 2, round 3. I don't know why that happens. I don't know why this happens, but if you look at the list of fighters, okay, let me just mention some of the list of fighters that he's lost to. Panpayak. Right? We all know Panpayak is an absolute beast. He's lost to Kumura, Japanese striker. He lost to Kong Klai. Kong Klai is knocking people out left, right, etc. But Kong Klai is also big, right? He's a massive dude. I don't know why he even fought Silviu. Silviu is fighting flyweight. And Kong Klai fights 140, sometimes even featherweight. So I don't even know why they had a matchup. He's lost to Seksan. Seksan literally doesn't lose to anyone. And then Yodlekpet, power puncher, right? And look at Yodlekpet knocked him out, by the way. So what this indicates to me is that Silviu Vites' fights in the One Championship has been against top-class athletes from his very first fight, right? So as much as he's got 5 losses to his name, there's no surprise that he's still in the One Championship just because he's actually a high-caliber kind of fighter. He's just been fighting against other high-caliber fighters and they beat him. So I can understand this. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, just putting time to put my mic back on, yeah. Okay. Oh, that, um, so the 5 losses doesn't really indicate to me that it's bad. I just fought against 7 match. Tomiki Sato, good striker, fights up nice and cold, got kickboxing on his hands. Okay, sorry about that. I'm gonna just change my mic. Leave it like that for now. Don't know why it's going. Tomiki Sato, good striker, like I said, he's got good kicks, good jabs. Not really a power striker. He's got a way of breaking his opponents down, which I love to see, by the way. But I think he's going to get outmatched by Sylvie. Because Sylvie is a high volume, battery kind of fighter where he just keeps going, doesn't really get tired. He stays on you the whole time. And that's why he gets hit a lot. But also, he can overwhelm you with that kind of pressure. He's making you fight backwards all the time. And I think Miki Sato is probably going to fight counter striking in this fight because of that style. He's going to have to obviously use that quite a bit. I think you should actually keep Silvio Vitez quite often to stop that forward momentum and also take away the gas tank. You set up his jab and the 1-2. And I think he can get the job done that way. It's a very even matchup for me now. It's hard for me to sort of pick a winner because both guys can game plan each other really well to get that dub. And I'm very intrigued to see who's going to do it first. I don't know who's going to win. I want to tip towards Silvio Vitez for his overwhelming pressure, but I've seen sniper-like strikers picks him up and beats him up, and they don't give him a chance to come back into the fight. And I just fear that for him in this fight as well. But I hope he goes and gets the win because he definitely needs a W. You can't go on with another going 4-fight losing streak because I don't know if Bonchap is going to want to keep you in the organization if you're going to lose another fight. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, as always, let me know your thoughts about that matchup. The rest of the card, Chayan fighting out of Mongolia, taking on Ubed Gomez from Venezuela, flyweight MMA bout. So nice to see an MMA fight happening again. You have another MMA fight between Koshin Akinov taking on Panrit Guzarov. This is bantamweight MMA, 2 debutants. And then we also have the card opened up by 2 debutants again between Sheng Yang and Shuri Sakayori. This is 118 pounds, and this is a catchweight kickboxing matchup, so I'm quite happy to see that as well. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we love to hear your thoughts about these fight cards. And also, if you love the content, like, share, and subscribe. As always, we are growing this platform nicely with our brand, Fighting with Friends. You will catch myself and the rest of the panel this weekend when we recap this fight card. It will be on Saturday. But we're also going to be live from 2:30 South African time in the morning. That's AM, by the way. Do a live for One Championships. Let me bring it up for you. One Fight Night 31. Kong Torani taking on Nong Ohama. This is the rematch and will be on Prime Video as well as the One Championship YouTube page. Okay, that's my time. Ladies and gentlemen, always having a pleasure doing this for y'all. Like I said, you can catch us on the next one. For now, stay safe. See you the next time. Stay blessed. Cheers.